Good morning, Michael Walsh with Roger Norgel here. Welcome to Norwal Farm. Lambing season May 2026 has started, and we'll show you what's going on with that today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, ring the notification bell, and hit the like button. That helps our channel. Also, if you would please, share this video with a friend and leave us a comment. So we'll get started, and thank you again for joining us at Norwal Farm. Good morning. It is the morning of May the 29th, and it's the due date of the majority of the ewes. There's 3 of them that our official due date is due tomorrow. This weekend, or it's a full moon right now, but the peak of the full moon is on the 31st. So don't know if that has any effect or not. The one ewe I'm questioning this morning is the one over in the corner, far corner. Her side is sunken just right there in front of her hips. It's kind of dropped down a little bit. And they do that before they go into labor. So if you compare it to this ewe over here, see how much more rounded that one is. Or any of them you look at. This one right here. So you can definitely see that triangular dip there. So she's one of the first ones that I think will probably go. But we'll just keep an eye on all of them. But no signs of nesting behavior or anything like that. She did eat this morning. But any day now, starting today. This ewe right here has her tail elevated. And she's really swollen there behind, what they call rosy. A lot of edema. So keep an eye on all of them. But those 2 are the first 2 I'm kind of watching more closely. Well, it's May the 29th and our first ewe lambed, and this is the due day. It's not the one I thought was going to be first. I was watching another one today, but I had her in mind too because she was going around with her tail raised and didn't see a lot of nesting behavior. And we ate dinner and I looked on the camera and there was a lamb, so she just laid down and had them. Nice big ewe lambs, twin ewe lambs. One's got a brown face, one's got a white face. These are sired by our Dorset cross ram, and we get some brown-faced lambs out of him, so I'm not sure what the other portion of his breeding is. I thought it was Texel, but it might be something else, possibly Suffolk, I don't know. But haven't weighed them yet. We iodine the cords, gave him some powdered colostrum, and the brown lamb has actually latched on and nursed. So she had a really nice set of twin ewe lambs last year, and she's the mother of the speckled face lambs, and we're saving them for replacements because her mom and this ewe both are just really good mothers, good producers. So I don't know that we will save these because I don't think we're going to need a lot more replacements, but nice big strong lambs. So we're off to a really good start. Saturday morning, May the 30th, and we have our second set of twins. This is the Suffolk ewe that we bred as a ewe lamb, so she's a yearling, and we do that. They do well as long as you feed them appropriately for their continued growth. And research has shown that ewes that lamb as yearlings actually have a longer productive life than those that wait until they're 2 years old. So she's still in the process of passing her placenta. Twin ewe lambs, and good size for her. I'm going to guess 9 or 10 pounds. The first set of twins, one weighed 11 and a half and one weighed 13 and a half. So that's 25 pounds of lamb. So she's being a good mom, has plenty of milk. The one I thought was going to lamb is right there. She still hasn't. So anybody can go anytime here. There's a lot of them with very full udders and a lot of swelling around the perineal area of the vulva. So we'll just keep a close watch on them. It's going to be a busy weekend. Sunday morning, May the 31st. No new lambs today or last night. What I have noticed is yesterday and just a little bit on Friday, these ewes are starting to itch again. So it's not just the itch mite, because usually one treatment takes care of that. More than likely it's scabies, mange mite. And so I Googled it, and you need to give Dectomax 2 doses a week apart. Now we're 10 to 12 days beyond the first dose, and I don't want to process them now since we're just ready to lamb, so we'll do this whole group another time. But the 4 replacement ewe lambs that we took out of the feedlot and put in with the grower lambs, they had their first dose a week ago, so we are going to go ahead and dose them a second time today, and that should take care of those. So good to know. So once these are all done lambing, then at some point we'll get them in, treat all the ewes and the lambs, and then a week later follow it up. And we'll have to do that with the other sheep as well. So lesson learned, but there's no way of knowing unless you do a scraping and identify the mite, and that's really hard to do. But based upon clinical signs, they were fine for the first week or 8 days, and then they started chewing their feet again, and then they've been rubbing a lot. So that tells me we needed the 2-dose treatment. But lots of full udders, lots of rosiness at the back end, swelling. So the peak of the full moon is tonight. So my sense is a bunch of these are going to drop at the same time. The lambs are doing well. We're going to band and tag them today. They're down there. You see those 2 sleeping down there, and those 2 down there are doing great. So we'll get those banded and tail docked and tagged today, and then I'm going to take this ewe and her lambs, and we're going to build a bigger pen. We're just going to go out from this one over to the wall and let these 2 run together before we take them down to the run-in shed. Getting ready to band and tag those lambs. These are the rubber bands you put on their tails, and they slide down over the 4 prongs of that. I'll see if I can set this up so I can show you. So you just put this band over those prongs and roll it down. Now, I don't like it all the way down to the bottom because it's hard to roll it off when you got it over the tail. So I roll it up so it's on this upper part right here. And these bands kind of have a mind of their own, because if you roll them, they flip, and then you push them back or roll them back up. So I just push them up a little bit. So that's the rubber band, and I'll show you where we put it on the tail. This is the tagging plier. It already has a tag in it. And I scanned, this is a scanner, and these are radio frequency identification tags. So when you scan it, the number comes up. If you remember, I don't know, a few videos ago, I cut this band here so it could swivel. I thought that would work better, but what I found is over time, actually the chip broke off, so it didn't work very well. So I'm not going to clip those again. I'm just going to put them in standard, and they should work much better. The black ewe, the Suffolk, she lost her orange tag, so we got to re-tag her. We're going to put the tag in the same hole. I'll mark the lambs and the ewes. Use the dot system. Keep it simple because there's only 13 ewes, and I don't need to use as much paint, and just want to make sure I can have them identified so that if a lamb's not doing well, I know which mother to look at. Okay, on the bottom of the tail, there's an area, so you got poop on hers, but there's no wool there, and so that's about the point where you want it. I don't do a real short show crop because then it leaves them unprotected. So. Open the plier, tail goes through here, and then I leave the plier just beyond where I want the band, because when you roll it off it moves up just a fraction of an inch. I just roll it off, and there it is. And then that shuts the circulation off. This just dries up and falls off. It is slightly painful, but their neurological system isn't fully developed, so the pain isn't as intense. I liken it to when they circumcise baby boys, a few days of age. They don't remember it. They feel it at the time, but they don't remember it. In the ear, there are some ribs. There's one up here, and there's one down here. That gives the ear its structure. So you want to stay between those when you put the tag in. So on the back side, here's one rib. There's the other one, so I'll go right in there. And then that gives a tag enough room, so it gives the room for the ear to grow. Just like getting your ear pierced. And then you see there's enough room for that, as the lamb grows, for the ear to go up there. The last thing we do is we mark them with the paint. So these will get one red dot on their rear end. Just like that. And then we'll put one on the mom as well, and the other lamb. I wait a couple days before I mark them because, especially on first-time moms, that smell, they recognize their lambs by smell, and that can lead to them not claiming their lambs. So we got to put one on the mom if she'll stand still. There, that's good for her. And we'll get the other lamb done. So everybody is color-coded. I did the white lamb first, so she's starting to feel the pinch on her tail. That's a normal response, but it doesn't last very long. 5 minutes, she'll be over it. So, and then that one's starting to feel it too. So everybody's color-coded and all done. Whenever you're working on animals, restraint is key, very important. And you see, this is one of the sheep that I split the tag on. That's her scrapey tag, which any animals leaving the farm have to have those. Initially, I put them in when they were born, but the last couple batches I haven't put them in, and we won't put them in until they leave the farm. This is coming untied. I find I have to tie those in a knot because it's thick and slick and it just doesn't stay tied. So anyway, this is still okay, but this was her EID tag, and you can see it's missing. So we have to remove that one tag. I use side cut pliers for that. And then I also had to go into her record and change the EID number, which you just use a scanner and scan it, copy and paste it. And then I went in and changed her 01 orange, because she lost that tag, to 07. So then her electronic record is updated. There's the old tag that I removed. There's her new tags, the 07, and then her new EID tag. I like those plastic ID tags because you can see them from a distance, and it's linked to their record. So that's called the management tag, and that way you don't have to scan them to get their number every time. Just look that up. So we'll get her lambs done now. Another thing I do is I put the ear tag in the right ear on females. You can see it right there. And then the left ear on male lambs. All these lambs so far have been females. That way when we're looking at a group of lambs, you can tell the sex just by looking at the ear tag, because we banned the male lambs too. So a wether lamb is going to look like a ewe lamb because there's no scrotum or testicles there. So just by looking at the ear tag, we can tell the sex of the lambs, and that makes it easier too. So these guys are feeling it just a little bit. It's only been a couple minutes, but they'll be back to normal. It's been 5 minutes on these, and they're actually doing pretty good. They're over it. So, like I say, it's very short-lived. It is painful. It does hurt a bit. I won't deny that. But it's probably one of the most humane ways of docking and banding. And I like to do it on the... These are 2 days old. This is their second day. Yeah, well, it'll be 2 days old tonight. Those others were born in the morning, so they're just starting their second day. But I don't do anything to them the first day. I want them to get a good start. Plus, like I said, the mother recognizes the lambs by smell. And you can see she's been smelling them. She's smeared the red paint all over them. She's got a little red paint on her nose. But it's worked well for me. I band them before I put them in with the other ewes and lambs. We're going to make a small bonding pen later today. And we'll put this ewe and the ewe up there in the pen together. That way they can learn to find their lambs, and lambs learn to follow mom. And then we'll take them down to the run-in shed probably the following day. The last part of the record keeping is I go in and mark a treatment down. And what I will mark today is that they were docked. I don't think I mark ear tagging. I'll have to check and see. But it's very simple to do. I'll show you the screenshots from the Herd Watch app that I use. It's been maybe 10 minutes after these two were docked, and they're sleeping. So their ear tags. You see their ear tags, they're both ewe lambs as well. And their ear tags are in their right ears. So I've got the screenshots here. And the first one is I go to my treatment cabinet. I put docking, castrating, management things, I put it in as a treatment because it's not, there's not another grouping where I can put that in. So I mark it as a treatment. So I selected dock, and then I go to the following pages. I select the 4 animals that were done, then I save it. And then I clicked on the white lamb's history here, and you can see everything that's been done to her since she's been born. So that's how I keep track of what I did and when I did it, as long as I don't forget. That sometimes happens, but anyway, all in all, I like the app really well. It helps me keep track of a lot of the management and treatment issues. It also tracks withdrawal dates on medications, so you don't send something to market that's in medication withdrawal. So it's been a very useful app. We built this small family group pen, just the 2 ewes and their lambs. Gives them ample space for right now. And the lambs will have to find their mom. Generally, the mother will not let lambs other than their own nurse them. So it's important for the lambs to learn that too. So we'll put a 5-gallon water bucket in here for them. That'll work. See that mom's checking out her babies. And the Suffolk's still staying over in her spot, but they'll come out and explore. Then that still gives us 3 bonding pens here, and I've got some additional gates that I can make other pens. I hope to get these 2 down to the run-in sheds probably tomorrow. I want to get them outside as soon as possible. That ewe there, long string of mucus hanging from her, that's normal. That's part of the uterus cleaning itself out. You can see the Suffolk is now sniffing the other lambs. And she didn't like that white one. She kind of rooted it away. She's checking out for her 2 babies. So that's good. See, she's going to sniff that lamb and just checking it out. And the other ewe. So they've had that 24 to 48 hours in the individual bonding pen, so they should be bonded well to each other. Now this just reinforces the bond and the fact that they got to keep track of mom, and mom has to keep track of them. And then we just gradually add ewe and lamb sets to it as we go. If we have a bunch, which we probably will, lamb at the same time, I'll probably do the same thing up here, build a small family group pen and put them together up here first before we take them down in the wide open spaces outside. Got the added space, and the lambs are playing, jumping around and playing. So they're enjoying the extra freedom. And the moms, they have to kind of keep track of them. So that's the purpose of this small family bonding pen. Lambs get to run around and play, and then the mothers can find them and the babies can find their moms. There's only 2 moms, so it's not as confusing for the lambs. They recognize each other by smell, probably by sight, and by sound, the sound of the mother's voice, because they bond instantly at birth. So, but they're doing good. I really like to watch the baby lambs play. Sunday afternoon, May 31st. Number 24 just had her lambs. I had to assist. She wasn't making any progress. She had both feet in the nose right there, but the elbows were flexed, so she couldn't. She might have been able to push it on out, although she's pretty fat, and I knew she was. So I went ahead and assisted her, got the legs extended, and pulled the lamb on out. And the second lamb, first one was a ewe, the second lamb was a ram lamb. He was coming backwards, hind feet first, so I just went ahead and delivered him. They're both doing okay. I checked her for milk, and she only has milk in the right side. Left side, there's no milk there. And this is a ewe I had marked down to call after she lambed this time to see how she did, because last year she had twins and they just didn't gain well, and I was suspicious. Well, I don't know what I was suspicious of, but my sense is she probably was having diminished milk production in the left half of the udder, so the two lambs were struggling to get enough milk. So, and if you look at it from this angle, you can see how the left half looks a little smaller than the right half. Right half has milk, left half does not. So I'm hopeful. I'm thinking number 13, wherever she's at. I think that's her there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm hopeful that she has a single, and we will do a wet adoption of one of her lambs onto that ewe, because she should have enough milk to raise twins, provided she has milk. So we'll see how it goes. But there's a bunch of them that look really close, which they should. They're overdue as of tomorrow. So we'll see how the rest of the evening and this week goes. So that'll be it for today's video, and thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next time at Norwal Farm.